I imagine that Mary and Joseph must have longed to return home from their time in a foreign land with their now older firstborn son Jesus. With all their hearts and all their senses, they were probably watching for any sign that the time had come to leave Egypt and return to Israel. And then it happened. In today's Impulse we read, "But when Herod died, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, 'Get up, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead.'" Once again, it is Joseph who listens. That is what impresses me so much about this man. Joseph never speaks a single word in the Bible, or at least none of his words are recorded, but he listens and he acts. When the angel tells him to flee to Egypt, he goes. When the angel tells him it is safe, he can return, he goes again. Joseph lives with open ears toward God. And perhaps that is exactly the message for us today. Anyone who wants to experience God's guidance must be willing to listen. The messengers God sends today often look very different from what we imagine. They do not always come with wings. They do not always appear in dazzling light. And they do not always speak through dreams. Sometimes one of God's messengers comes in the form of a person who gives us an important piece of advice. Sometimes God speaks through a friend, through a sermon, through a verse of scripture, or through an encounter that at first seems like nothing more than a coincidence. The important thing is not whether the angel has wings. The important thing is whether we are willing to listen. Mary and Joseph were able to set out because they paid attention to God's voice. They lived in an attitude of expectation. They were inwardly prepared for the moment when God would indicate the next step. Perhaps that is an important question for us as well. Are we actually ready? Do we expect God to have something to say to us? For God still guides his people today. He shows the way, he opens doors, he provides direction, but often it is not the people who talk the most who hear him. It is those who have learned to listen for God's voice. And when the time comes to move forward, God will send the messenger we need, whether with wings or without them.